Now this is really, really odd. HTC do the utterly blinged out U11 and I hate it. Honor does this, the Honor 9, which is almost as reflective, and I find myself quite liking it. The answer to this quirk, this dilemma, lies in everything else about the package, of course. The Honor 9 is quite a bit smaller and fits the hand absolutely perfectly. The screen and back edges are just curved enough to be comfortable and the sides just straight enough to be solidly grippy. The end result is I've been using the Honor 9 shock horror without a case and I've had no problems at all. Glass front and back, pah! Well, okay. In extended use, a case is probably a good idea, but it's not essential 24/7, as on some other all-glass designs. Then there's the presence of a traditional 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, every Android manufacturer that has tried copying Apple and ditching this has quickly come a cropper, and Honor has the jack that will make regular users very happy, including me. Apple has burned its bridges in this regard, of course, and I still wonder whether Apple's going to regret dropping the jack in the long run. So we have a smaller, far better phone to hold and grip. We have a proper audio jack, and we also have a price tag of £380 all in the UK, and that's before any of the traditional and regular Honor sales. Compare that to the U11 at £650 or so. The Honor 9 isn't that far off half price, which is staggering. And that value for money also helps colour me impressed for this new flagship. Now, something's got to give to reach this price point, of course, if I'm going to start banding around words like flagship, comparing this to the U11 and LG's G6s of this world. Yet, there aren't really any compromises. I've been looking hard. Yes, we're looking at a 1080p LCD display and not QHD, but come on, at 5.1 inches, I defy anyone to tell the difference. You could perhaps complain that the fast charging systems are proprietary Huawei scheme and not standard power delivery or quick charge 3.0, but hey, use the supplied USB Type-C charger and you still get 18 watts of power flowing in, 9 volts at 2 amps, giving the sealed 3200 mAh battery half a charge in half an hour. Battery life was decent too, as long as you keep the LCD backlight brightness sensible. The auto default works fine for me, and this is auto right now. Now, what about the tiny cameras in this thin phone? They're only f/2.2 aperture each, but there are two of them, 20 megapixel for detail and 12 megapixel for colour. And there are lots of software smarts to use both to reduce noise and allow some lossless zooming, at least at the default, and 9 megapixel output. Results are excellent too. See the results here in a variety of lighting conditions, showing what can be done in 2017 with a multi-camera, multi-exposure technology. Plus there are a bazillion pro settings and a load of 3D modes and tricks to play around with if you're so inclined. Testing 1080p footage here on the Honor 9, and the sun's out today. This is with software video stabilization. There's no OIS in the Honor 9. I've seen much better implementations of software stabilization. As I walk and hold it, you can probably tell that it's not super steady. But hey, it's fine, absolutely fine for casual use. Some of these flowers are now going over. Indeed, also the buddleia, and there's no butterflies to video, which is a bit of a shame. But you'll get an idea of the focusing speed. And there goes the sun. There goes the sun, right on cue. The search for compromises goes on. There's only a mono speaker, but it's not bad. Here's a demo, it's just full volume. Someone covering a bit of classic Dave Gilmour. I'm quite happy listening to that, even though it is only mono. The fingerprint sensor has been moved from the back, as on the Honor 8, to the front here, in line with the current thinking in the smartphone world. And it's true that this way you can unlock your phone even when it's just sat on a desk or a table in front of you, not having to lift it up and then wrap your finger around to tap something on the back. This all makes sense, though I'd still like to see a phone with both positions covered, if that's technically possible. The sensor here is lightning fast, which is not surprising as all the internals here scream a Kirin 960 chipset. 4GB of RAM, 64GB of built-in storage plus micro SD, all top end, though I do note that some countries even get an Honor 9 Premium with 6GB and 128GB respectively. I'm getting more and more impressed by this Honor 9 each moment, as you can tell. and it's significantly less than £400. This undercuts just about everything comparable on the market today, including the OnePlus 5 and definitely including the HTC U11. But watch this, I've found a compromise. It's in the traditional Honor sphere of bundling software extras, not all of which you'll want. For starters, you get offered a whole screen full of, quote, popular apps, similar to that here, as part of the setup process, and you then have to be brave enough to uncheck everything and skip past this. And then in addition, there's, and I'll take a deep breath, the High Game Store, Booking.com, Instagram, TripAdvisor, Runtastic Results, eBay, Asphalt, Nitro, Dragon Mania, Disney Kingdoms, the Gameloft Unlimited Store, Spider-Man Ultimate Power, AC Unity, Little Big City 2, and more. Ouch! The idea is that for the privilege of having all this software on every phone, Gameloft and other publishers help subsidise the handset. I'm guessing to the tune of £20 or so. I could be wrong, but that sounds about right. Happily, everything I've tried can be uninstalled, and so 5 minutes tapping after getting your new Honor 9, you'll be back to just the Huawei EMUI 5.1 apps plus Google's own, and everything will be much more streamlined. So even that compromise is nullified too, leaving a terrific compact smartphone with premium design, premium performances, no weak areas, and definitely no need to fork out an arm and a leg to buy it in the first place. Huawei's EMUI, Emotion UI, used to be itself a reason to avoid Honor devices, but it's massively improved, as I demonstrated in detail in Phone Show 304, so do go back and watch that, including a home screen with an app drawer if you so prefer. I especially liked all the retro neon styling on the notifications area, very Android 4 hollow. I'm a sucker for anything sci-fi and tronish. I also love the high quality random lock screen wallpapers, always something different and striking every time you pick up the Honor 9. Refreshing. It's all based on Android 7 with May 2017 security patches, so hopefully Honor can keep this within a month or two of Google's gold standard going forwards. Well, what else? Capacitive controls rather than virtual, and you can reverse them if needed, or even switch to a single long press or swipe system on the sensor, though I never really got used to this in practice. You get NFC for Android Pay, of course. You get a stereo microphone, especially for video capture. You even get headphones bundled in the box. They're outer ear, but they're in the box, and that's a rarity these days. I am really struggling with this review. I want to find a fatal flaw in the Honor 9, just as I did with the HTC U11 in the previous show, yet I can't. If your budget is £400, then this is absolutely the smartphone to buy at the moment, and you'll have change for a meal out. And if you spot the Honor 9 on offer from vmall.eu in the coming months, snap it up in a heartbeat. It's terrific.